Gather round, friends, new and old, and welcome to the POWWOW podcast. I am your host, David.
And I am your other host, Philip.
And we are gathered here today on Earth Day. We hope you're listening on Friday when this episode lands, because it is Earth Day today, April 22nd. And as you well know by now, if you've been listening to the podcast, I'm a huge champion for environmentalism and saving the environment. And we are at a point right now, a critical point in our human history, where we need to make some real changes to the way that we live life. And governments are making promises that they are pretending they're keeping, and they are just not. And so it's our job as citizens, as people of the world, to hold them accountable, cut out fossil fuels, do the right thing, because if you've read the latest news, things are pretty dire. And I'm using this podcast as a platform shamelessly to let you know that things are getting really dire, and we are at a point where, Phil, I'm saying this to you as well as everyone else, like, because I know we haven't talked about this. We're at a point now where in the next 3 years, we need to hit our peak carbon emissions and start falling, and it's already too late. But right now, we have about 3 years before it's basically disaster.
Yeah, I'm debating about whether or not making jokes here, but you know what? I understand how about how this
well,
is.
We got to try to keep it light, but at the same time, like, I think, it's now we need to start talking about it.
Sure.
But of course, this podcast, this episode shall be a little bit. We'll have some fun here and there, but I just wanted to open up by saying, like, guys, read the news. Like, people are like, scientists are like gluing themselves to buildings in protest because people just aren't listening. Because it's not convenient for them,
and it's reusable glue. That is what helps about the protest. But all jokes aside, yes, I know it'll be a fun episode. I know that when you hear Earth Day, most people think of an Earth in like those little cartoon arms and a cape, and thinking about their childhood, going back to what can you do about the Earth and all that stuff. But we'll try and be fun. We'll try and make it all digestible. And we shall not waste not and want not. So let's get to the main topic here.
So as we said, we're talking about Earth Day, and we've each prepared a few just random questions for each other. Some fun, some whatever, but all concerning the Earth and the environment. And let's just get started. Phil, why don't you go first?
Yes, mine would be, David, could you harvest and eat food made from your own fertilizer?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think so. You mean like, you mean my poop?
Yes, think a la The Martian, where he made potatoes out of his own feces, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be food, and it'll be clean when I eat it, and it'll be cooked, and yeah. I don't have any qualms about it. I mean, it's cow poop or my poop. So
now, a quick question: do you think that the majority of people who would have that question, do you think that the majority of people would be fine with it?
I think so. The majority of people, it's people who either overthink it or underthink it that are going to have a problem with that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Why would you?
It would take me a while to get into that first bite. I'll tell you that. Like, those mashed potatoes would take me a while to finally enjoy.
All right, you don't know. You might find a sense of pride.
Man, these are the tastiest.
These are my mashed potatoes.
Do you know? Most people say that I had to sweat blood and tears in order to get this. I had to stain and smears in order to get to this. Oh, man.
Who said we wouldn't be having fun on this episode?
There we go.
All right. What is a natural location that you would be most horrified to see destroyed by human inaction concerning climate change and pollution, whatnot?
You know what I think whenever I think of like beautiful nature? I don't usually think of like rainforests. To me, always represent danger. Well, from like no, I mean, for me, like a documentary side, like being like I'm safe in my house eating popcorn, watching it. Yeah, it's great. But like actually like going there and like enjoying firsthand, it's hot, it's sweaty, it's muggy. So I'm like, nah, I'm out. Desert, same idea. Where I like to look at it, but like the one where I'm thinking like I would want to be one with nature, therefore I would miss it the most, would probably be like the roving hills of like in a meadow or something, you know, where it's like maybe like I always think of like Ireland, where it's like mountainous dips and like you just see like grass being like gusted by wind, like areas like that, I would very much feel tinge of sadness to see go due to climate change or what have you. That's where I would go. David, do you have it in you to raise and kill your own livestock?
I think I would. It wouldn't be easy, but I am able to rationalize the thought of, that it's not a new concept. It's been around for thousands of years, and if you look at nature in general, it's been around for millions of years, where billions of years even, where life needs other life in order to survive. And like, I'm able to make that, like, to disconnect those two things, where yes, it's a living animal in front of me, but on the other hand, it's also sustenance and whatnot. And I wouldn't take like pleasure in it or anything, but I do think I could do it. Yes.
The number one mistake that they say, by the way, is just never name them. Like, once you name them Ted, it's really hard to eat Ted.
Right. I think it's a lot harder if you only have one sheep.
Yeah.
If you've got like 30, it's a lot easier. But if you've only got one sheep and you want to kill and eat that one, that makes it a lot harder.
Because then you have a lot more choices, right? There's like the bad sheep where you're like, I cannot wait to eat you.
Phil, what is a habit of yours relating to environmentalism that you most think needs changing?
Okay, most needs changing and what I will actually follow through with are two different things. So what most needs to change is my use of disposable silverware and plates, because that I think is my single most harmful thing. Like, I reuse a lot of bags, even if they are plastic bags. I use them to their max for at least trash. Whenever I go out, if I have an option of paper bags, I go there. So I'm pretty good, and I use both recycle and trash. Some people I know mix mash or worse do both, but I am pretty good outside of, I just have a tendency to just love to have things have a use for them and then eat and then not ever use those silverware ever again. So that's my personal negative factor to the earth. David, what is the most disgusting bug to you? What is the most disgusting bug to you? Either maybe in terror or in just by design. Maybe like a dung beetle just disgusts you by its very nature.
I'm torn between two here, where I'm thinking about just your regular housefly, which is, I'm thinking about that one because it's so common, and yet they are kind of gross. Like, they've gone just from landing on a turd to landing on your sandwich.
And so puking on both.
That is disgusting. But also, cockroaches are inherently a sign that filth is near, or filth. Things are just dirty. It's gross. Cockroaches are disgusting. But I think I'm leaning towards fly, just because there's so much more. Like, they're everywhere. They are everywhere.
And so much more mobile.
Yeah, unavoidable. They are literally just in a second. They're all of a sudden on your dinner plate. So I'm gonna go with the regular old housefly, or even worse, a horse. Have you ever seen a horsefly?
Yeah, they're freaking huge.
Yeah, they're disgustingly huge. Ugh. Phil, would you rather take part in an ocean cleanup expedition or a tree planting excursion?
Tree planting excursion. What is that?
Like, you go out into a place where that has been, all the trees have been cut down, and you go and you plant new trees.
Actually, I would choose the cleaning of the trash. I very much like the after feeling of cleaning things, even though I don't. It's kind of like working out for me, right? It's like
you would be going like in a boat, like out into the ocean.
Yeah, you cast out a net and you kind of go through and you sift it all out. Yeah, I don't mind that part. It's honestly the just getting to it, like, again, working out versus getting to cleaning, where it's like it's the getting to that point, getting ready to do so, that is the hard part for me. Actually doing it is somewhat enjoyable, but just motivating myself to get to that point. So I would choose the cleaning, because there's always, like, for every piece of trash, there's always possibly something that's interesting to be like, oh, why did somebody throw this away or something? So I think it could be of interest as well as doing something good for the environment. David, which would be the worst potential climate for you to live in? Now, there's a lot here. There's desert climate, there's jungle climate, there's mountain climate.
The worst?
Yeah, for you personally.
The worst for me personally.
Savanna climate.
Can I say the one I'm living in right now? This like dreary, rainy, northern European climate. Like, I honestly despise it so much.
I don't know, man.
I would sooner live in a really cold place, like somewhere like Alaska, for example.
Russia.
But at least it's beautiful. You know, at least it's white and snowy. Like, I would rather be colder. I mean, I may be exaggerating. Like, the summers are perfectly pleasant here, usually. Last summer was crappy. I like warm weather. I'm okay with living in 30 degrees Celsius heat, which is like in the 90s or something, high 80s, 90s. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, I can live in that, no problem. So I would say either this one, extreme cold, like Siberia or Alaska. I probably wouldn't enjoy that very much. Or like deathly desert heat. But which one would I hate the most? Probably the cold. Phil, would you join a colony on Mars, knowing that you have to stay there for at least 10 years and there are 99 others with you?
Is Ariana?
No, but unlike I believe one of the rules for going on like the Mars expeditions that are planned is that intercourse is strictly forbidden and you're not allowed to have children or relationships. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% certain. But in my Mars expedition, it's totally allowed. All good. Do what you got to do. Just don't have kids.
That's doable. That's sign up.
No one wants to have a kid on Mars.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that. Nobody wants. Some people don't want to have a kid on Earth, but
this man is shocked.
Yes,
shocked that there may not be any hanky panky on planet Mars.
Well, that just made Mars. No wonder nobody lives on Mars. Okay, so would I go there for 10 years?
That's the reason. Yeah, that's the reason no one will go.
Wow. I don't. Honestly, if it were later in my life, I would say yes. But right now, I think I'm too young to enjoy life as it is. So I would have to say no. I would have to say no now with the hopes that they come back to me in 10 years myself, and then I could enjoy those next 10 years. I could still give them 10 good years in my 30s, but 10 years out of my late 20s, you can't take that. All right.
There are a lot of like you'd have to live in like a dome, like undercover. I'm pretty sure the atmosphere on Mars is not breathable.
Right.
So,
but it's still cool. It's still an experience.
And it would be quite an adventure. Yeah.
Yes. Last one for me, David. What would your farmer name be?
Do I get an example, or what is a farmer name?
Yeah, Farmer John. Like, are you going to go with like the standard of just like a standard name like Farmer David? Farmer David just doesn't sound right, though. Are you going to be like Farmer McHenry? Are you going to be? I mean, because Farmer Hoffman, I suppose that could do something.
No.
But associate that also with, and this is a follow-up question. What would your farm consist of? Would you run a pig farm? Would you run an almond farm? Would you run a honey farm? I think that determines what type of farm.
I'm trying to think of alliteration, like the names that sound like, and maybe if I was a dairy farmer, I'd be Dairy Dave.
There you go.
Yeah. What was and then I guess I would be farming dairy. I would be a cattle farmer.
Yes.
Yeah. And I would be Dairy Dave. There you go.
There we go. I love that.
Phil.
Dairy Dave gives you all the milk.
Phil, which would you sooner give up? Eating meat, your car, or air travel?
I would say eating meat. I think that's doable for me. We're at a place. That's right. I meant to ask this question. I just forgot to. But I think that there's a certain part of the population right now for humans who, even if you told them, and it was true, that this tastes exactly the same as a filet mignon steak, you could not taste the difference. They are identical in taste. But I will tell you factually that one is made from a soybean or a pill that you just put in water, whatever that is. And the other one is an actual steak. Some people will refuse to eat the fake one.
Will insist that they can tell the difference.
Sure. But I am the type of person where it's like, oh, if this one's healthier for me, if there's a greater purpose for me to eat the other one that is not actual steak and it both benefits me and the environment, of course, why would I not do that? I don't know that we're 100% there yet. It's still like there's still
Well, certainly
trade-offs.
not. But there are a lot of reasons why being vegetarian is beneficial to the environment and to your health.
Sure.
I was reading about it today. I was reading a lot of articles today about environmentalism and I was reading about what would happen if everyone went vegetarian. And there would be a lot of benefits and a lot of, but also some drawbacks. So it's a very interesting subject to research. So check it out if you have the inkling. But yeah, there would be a lot of benefits, but I know that like it would be very difficult. Like a lot of culture would be destroyed. Cultures that surrounding consumption of meat, and the third world would be completely devastated if you took meat out of diets. That people would starve. Millions of jobs would have to be repurposed. People who, cattle farmers, all that would have to be completely repurposed. So it would take a long time to make that transition. But obviously, yeah, it would be much more beneficial to the environment.
Well, thank you for listening to our main topic. And from Dairy Dave and myself, happy Girth Day.
Happy Earth Day. And let me just say before we close out, whatever you're doing to help the earth is great. You're not doing enough. So figure out what you can do that can add on to what you're already doing.
Fix your leaky faucets. This episode of POWWOW Podcast is sponsored by Sides.
Meet Sides. SIDES, an app that helps you take the law into your own hands.
Turn ordinary agreements into binding contracts in seconds. Then if a dispute arises, Sides will step in to resolve it for you.
What, Phil, that was supposed to be my line.
What did we agree to in the contract?
I don't know. I guess we can use Sides to settle this dispute, because each dispute costs a small one-time fee.
And if you win, which I will, it's all awarded back to you.
Sign up now and get 16% off for a limited time only.
May I help you?
You talking to me?
I need to talk to you.
A little word of advice.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're welcome then.
You're
May I
welcome.
help you?
You love that every time.
Dude, it's so good.
You're welcome.
You're welcome is our mini segment today,
Yes.
where we provide you with unsolicited advice that you did not know that you needed, but you do. And we're going to give it to you despite your lack of interest. I'll go first here. My advice to you, and it's Earth Day themed, of course. Unplug when you can. And I mean that literally. Don't leave your devices on charge longer than they need to be. And charge your devices to 95% instead of 100%. What this does, obviously, it takes a lot more energy to get from 95 to 100% than it would from, say, 55 to 60%. So by only charging to 95%, you still get almost a full charge and use a decent amount less energy. So save energy, save the earth.
We just got past Easter Sunday after recording this episode, so let me just say this. I get it. We're all bargain basement shoppers here, and we're all looking forward to next year's Easter on the fall of one year's Easter. So instead of just buying the cheap Easter candy the following day in preparation for next year's Easter, instead of giving people year-old Easter candy, why don't you go ahead, go through the line, put it all on the cart, and don't buy the candy. See what the price tag is. Put that money aside in one of your little Easter eggs. Put it down, clamp it down, put that bin away for Easter. When we come back to next year's Easter, come back, take out that money, and then use that on the candy for this upcoming year. If anything, if there's a difference, it's going to be minuscule. And you'll have that amount ready for next year, so that way you get nice, fresh candy for everybody, because year-old candy is not it, folks. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And We welcome back to the show once again, and hopefully not for the last time, but we never know. A diva's got a diva, so we never know when and where Aaron Ford will make his last appearance. But I tell you this, when it is the last time, the mic will be dropped. It will be a glorious, flaming finish for Aaron Ford. Luckily, that I'm hoping again. That's not today. Yes, Aaron Ford.
Hydraulic lifts, the whole shebang.
Aaron Ford, welcome back to the show. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. It's so wonderful to be back. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming on the show. Since last we talked, you had promoted a show. I have now gone to see that show, and I can tell you in all sincerity and in all honesty, no kissing of ass included. It was a tremendous job by not only you, but the rest of the show. But I especially enjoyed making eye contact with you. It was semi-romantic. It was dramatic. It was everything about it was wonderful. I appreciated your performance in The Color Purple. By the time this is out, by the time this episode is out, when does the show end? Has it already ended?
May 1st.
May 1st. So then there will be a little time. So by the time you hear this, if you have not seen and you're in the Phoenix area, please go see The Color Purple. My goodness.
Please do.
Please do. All right. Aaron Ford, my friend from theater.
I really wish I could.
You know what?
You need to do?
I'll go in there.
Send me a copy of the DVD, please.
Yeah. Well, David, what I was going to do is I'll buy another ticket. You send me the money for the ticket, and I'll just go in there with my phone and record it. I'm sure they won't mind, Aaron, right?
I tried. No, look, my bestie directed a production of Mamma Mia, and so I FaceTime watched the whole thing, and it was a mess.
It was a mess.
Not the production was good, but like FaceTime watching a production is not the business.
It is not. It's not. You're always zooming, a little shake, a little shimmy.
Very that. And then sometimes the camera would like slip a little bit, so I'd just be getting like the lighting fixtures. A mess. Just a mess.
Aaron, move me stage left.
Very that.
All right, guys. We both know Aaron rather well, but David, you don't know him nearly as well. So let's give you two questions to my one, as you know how the sequence goes. David, let's start with you. What is your first question?
Aaron, today we've been talking about the Earth because it is on the Friday, the day this releases is Earth Day. And I am a big champion of environmental issues. What is a cause that you champion?
Just in general, or does it have to be Earth related?
No, in general.
I really, really like to advocate for young queer youths, just because in my youth, I didn't experience a lot of negativity that I feel like a lot of young queer people experience today. And so like, if I can be that person who is a beacon of hope, for somebody who's struggling, that's what I try to do, just living,
provide the support that you
provide
got.
The support. Yeah. Provide like, it gets better, it sounds so cliche, but like get better, you'll eventually be able to be your own person and you can choose your own destiny. Is that too deep?
No, wonderful. No, that's wonderful. I love that. What, Aaron, what is a classically male, then female role you would like to portray as being an actor yourself? I'm sure that you have a list of faves and want-tos, but is there a classical male and female role you would like to portray as theater is being more and more opened to gender bending?
Oh, sure. Honestly, Sunset Boulevard, Norma Desmond. There's some years,
wow,
and maybe a good 10 years just descending that good staircase. You know what I'm talking about? Just singing them lovely songs.
Ready for my close-up.
Very that. And a male role, let's see. I've always wanted to give you a good Jean Valjean, 24601.
Yes.
But, I would love to see a revival of The Producers. That would be fun. Literally, I'd take anything in that.
Yes, I love The Producers, and I think it's always criminally in our generation underwatched. It needs to be watched. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm guessing both talking about the musical version, the remake version.
Yeah.
Have either of you seen the original version?
I have actually. It's still good. It's still good.
It's good. It's a lot drier.
Yes. Yes. It doesn't have any springtime for Hitler zazz that we all want.
No. Also, if I may, one more. Frumacera and Fiddler. I mean, Frumacera. She gives it to you every time.
I love it. Do you have any like notes for the people, like an audition right now for any of those roles right now that you just want to just belt out really fast?
Oh, no. When
Okay,
I sing,
good.
I get paid. Yeah.
Don't if you're good at it, don't do it for free. Unlike this
Don't do it
podcast.
for
Go
free.
ahead, Hoffman.
My second and last question.
Mhm.
What do you do when your hot blind date shows up in a Hummer?
And for those who can't see, because obviously this is an audible format.
Oh, it is a visual format.
Yes, it's a visual one for us. But Aaron Ford just withdrew all. At first it was you could see him visualizing this hot, steamy hunk of whatever, and then it just all deflated so disgustingly in the Hummer.
You know what? I get in the Hummer. I climb in that Hummer, and I just send up a solemn silent prayer, and I say, "I'm sorry."
Mother
I'll
Earth
recycle.
is disappointed in you.
I know, girl. I know. I am so sorry. I'm composting next week, I swear. But I'm getting in that Hummer. Sorry about it. Is he 6'3"? Is he muscular? I mean,
All of the
What-
above.
what's one to do but get in the Hummer?
Oh, that's fantastic.
Okay.
I love it.
Aaron, you have joined us to play a game, not just to talk
Lovely.
about steamy hunks in Hummers. So this game I introduced to Phil, and he said, "Oh, okay, so basically kind of like Jeopardy." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess so."
Okay.
So what is going to happen is you'll be presented with 5 categories, and in each category there are 2 questions, a 1-point question and a 2-point question. So you can, like Jeopardy, pick the category and say, I want to go for the 2.
Okay.
All right. It's a much more condensed version of Jeopardy. And then you will get, if you get it right, you'll get either 2 points or 1 point. And then by the time that all of the questions are gone, whoever has the most points will be the winner.
Is this a buzz-in situation? Is this a general trivia
no.
situation?
No,
Okay.
we'll just go back and forth.
Okay.
Hoffman, are your questions multiple choice? Fill in the blank, bit of both.
Mine are all
Over.
just questions with an answer. No,
Got
no
it.
multiple choice on mine.
Okay.
Oh,
All
okay.
of mine are multiple choice. That is the only difference. Aaron, since you are our guest, you get to decide who you want to face off against first.
I'd like to face off against you, Phil.
All right. Hoffman, sock it to us.
Here we go. I'm going to read off the categories first. Feeling gassy, energize me, depollute the commute, horny and confused, and old as a fossil. So once again, feeling gassy, energize me, depollute the commute, horny and confused, and old as a fossil.
Aaron, since you are our guest, you get to choose the category first.
I'm going to choose old as a fossil.
Old as a fossil. Would you like a 1 point or 2 points?
I'm going to go for the 2-pointer.
Okay. Which Middle Eastern country is the world's biggest exporter of oil?
I'm going to say Iran.
Oh, incorrect. The correct answer is Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, yeah.
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah. All right, Phil, we go to you.
You know what? Where did he just go?
Old as a fossil.
Old as a fossil. I'm going to go with old as a fossil 1.
Oil is one of the main fossil fuels. What are the other 2 that are considered main fossil fuels?
Whether the name of the other 2 is it methane?
No.
No, we're not even on the same page.
No, no.
Where are we?
Coal and natural gas.
Oh,
I thought that
duh.
was an easy question.
No, I thought Saudi Arabia was an easy question. It's
Okay,
going to be
well-
interpretive.
Well, let's just ignore old as a fossil because that didn't go very well. Aaron,
It's
we'll go back
gone.
to you.
Are there only
Which-
2 questions per category?
Correct.
Okay. Let's do energize me
For 2 or 1?
for 2. Let's try it.
What renewable energy source made up just 0.01% of the world's electricity generation in 2004, but rose to 3.5% of the world's electricity generation in 2020? It's a renewable energy source.
Oh, I'm going to say vegetable oil byproduct. I don't know.
No, solar power is the correct answer.
Really? I thought that would be higher.
Yeah, we wish it would be higher.
Huh.
Well, it is rising very quickly, apparently. All right, Phil.
Have you guys seen that? They've like distilled vegetable oils so you can
Mhm.
use them to power machinery.
Yeah. My cousin's car runs on vegetable oil.
Nice. Okay.
Wow. I'll
Or
go
like
with
a vegetable diesel. It's like biodiesel, yeah.
I'll
Okay.
go with the same strategy here. Energize me for 1, please.
Okay. What was the location of the world's worst nuclear disaster in 1986?
Would that be Chernobyl?
Chernobyl is correct, and we are on the board. Philip, you get 1 point.
Yeah.
All right. Aaron, we go back to you. Which category would you like?
Let's do horny and confused for 1. I'm learning my
Okay.
lesson.
What animal is often targeted by poachers for its horn?
The rhinoceros?
Rhinoceros is correct, and Aaron, you have 1 point.
Oh, it's horny and confused as in, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I left my vacuum running. I have to go.
I'm going to go with horny and confused. Point deux.
Okay. In 2016, Kenya burned the largest stockpile of what in order to send a message that a certain animal is worth more alive than dead?
I'm going to go with elephant tusks.
I'll take it. Ivory is the correct answer. So
Okay,
yes,
sure.
2 points for you. Philip, you are now on 3. Aaron, you are on 1.
Unacceptable.
Aaron, we go back to you. You have left horny and confused is done. Old as a fossil is done. Energize me is done. Feeling gassy or depollute the commute?
Feeling gassy. I mean,
All right.
come
For
on.
1 or 2.
For 2.
Okay. What is the region of the atmosphere that has been depleted by chlorofluorocarbons?
The ozone layer.
The ozone layer is correct. 2 points for
Hey!
you.
Okay.
There we go. We're tied at 3 points apiece.
Oh, this is interesting.
Phil.
Neck and
I
neck.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I think in order to strategically do this correct, I have to go with depollute the commute. And if I get this, there's no way Aaron can catch me. And if
No. Because if I get the 1 pointer for the deep pollute the commute, and then
You'd
the
ha-
1 pointer for
no,
feeling gassy.
because I would get the the
Yeah,
other
you've only got
pointer.
one. You've only got one left, Aaron.
You've only got one question left. And
Oh,
I've
because the other one is yours.
Yes.
Ah.
so I'm going
yeah.
to go with depollute the commute for the winsies. Let's see if
For,
I get
for
it.
2 points.
2 points.
Okay.
What is the largest producer of electric cars?
I'm going to go with Tesla.
Tesla is correct.
No.
Tesla
Yeah,
is correct.
baby.
Yeah,
Woo-woo.
yeah. All right.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you could be forgiven for thinking it would be like Volkswagen or Toyota or something like that,
Ford.
but no, Tesla is by far the largest producer of electric cars, followed by Volkswagen. Okay,
Work.
let's go. Let's just do the last 2 questions. Aaron,
Yeah,
would you rather have depollute the commute for 1 or feeling gassy for 1?
Feeling gassy for 1.
What is the name for a gas that causes heat to be trapped in the atmosphere?
Heat to be trapped in the atmosphere. Nitrogen. I honestly
Let
have
me
no idea.
ask the question again. What is the name given to a gas that causes heat to be trapped in the atmosphere?
Thermal? I have no idea.
No, greenhouse. Maybe the question wasn't phrased very well. Greenhouse gas is the
Oh,
answer we were
Work.
that for.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I guess
Okay.
that does make sense. Yeah.
Okay. And Phil, for you, the last one, what was the first and best-selling fully hybrid personal vehicle?
That would be. Why am I blanking right now? Because I'm for whatever reason now the Volkswagen Bug is coming to my mind, but that's not it. Oh, the Prius, the Toyota Prius.
Toyota Prius is correct.
Okay.
Phil, you finish on 6, and Aaron 3. Well played to both.
Well-
Just for fun, the tiebreaker.
Yes.
Mass extinction is one of the gravest threats facing ecosystems globally. On that note, by what year is it estimated that the dodo went extinct? Closest would win if this was being played for real.
I feel
Aaron,
like
20, I'm going to say
you-
2012.
The dodo 2012.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
Phil.
because I'm pretty sure we were alive when this happened. Like they were doing like a live broadcast of the dodo actively dying, choking on a pebble on a beach or something, and we were watching it live
That's so
on TV.
dark. God.
But what year was that? I believe that was 1999.
I don't know what planet you guys are living on, but the dodo went extinct in 1681.
I swear, I watched the
You
dodo
most certainly
This
on
podcast
TV.
can't
did
air.
not.
This podcast can't air.
it shouldn't. Maybe we should cut out the tiebreaker. Dear, I thought you guys would be closer than that. Phil was closer, I guess, by a few years, by
baby!
13 years, but you were
Fired,
still
whatever.
you're still 318 years off.
I can't.
I love them.
The more you know.
Like the way of the dodo, David's game is dead. So let's go to mine, which is fully alive and well. Guys, here are your categories. Again, all of mine are multiple choice. So maybe we'll find a little bit more high scoring in mine. Here we go. The categories are the following: Earth, chicken nuggets, Camila Cabello, the color purple, and drag. Once again, the categories are Earth, chicken nuggets, Camila Cabello, the color purple, and drag.
I feel like I've been given an unfair advantage here because chicky nugs. I mean,
you might as well be a
this is
major in that. Yeah,
my main protein source, chicken nugs.
Chicken nugs. All right, Aaron. Well, you get first dig at whatever category you so choose. Are you going to go with
Camila Cabello?
Camila Cabello?
Camila
Okay,
Cabello.
he's not going to exercise his advantage right off the top. All right.
I want to go with the hard stuff first.
Okay.
I know nothing about her.
Right. Okay, there you go. 1 or 2 for Camila Cabello.
2. Let's try it.
Aaron, I actually think you would have had a better chance at this than David. What did Camila Cabello wear to the Grammys in 2020? A Gothic-style black gown by Versace and a $2 million necklace from Le Vienne. B, a voluminous navy strapless dress by Oscar de la Renta with dangling earrings featuring 57.71 carats of tanzanites, aquamarines, pink sapphires, rubies, blue sapphires, and amethysts set in 18-karat white gold. Mm-hmm. C, in an Oscar de la Renta fairy princess-like nude bustier tulle gown with vine detailing. She styled the dress with her long tresses braided, glowy makeup, and platform sandals. Or D, a pale yellow billowing Christian Siriano tulle skirt with a plain white t-shirt cropped slightly at her midriff with bracelets, earrings, and layered necklaces, and she carried a dazzling globe purse. Again, a Gothic-style black gown by Versace, a voluminous navy strapless dress, an Oscar de la Renta fairy princess-like nude bustier, a pale yellow billowing Christian Siriano tulle skirt with a plain white t-shirt.
Now, this was 2018, you said, yes?
I said the Grammys in 2020.
Oh, in 2020. Okay. I know that Christian Siriano works with a lot of up-and-coming artists, but if this was 2020, I know she had already had some bops, kind of take off. So I'm going to go with the De La Rentas. And I think a nude bustier with kind of glowy makeup would fit her aesthetic at that time. She was a young and up and coming kind of Nickelodeon girl. Nickelodeon? I don't remember.
Yeah.
One of those child networks.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with C, the nude bustier, the fairy-like nude bustier.
We do love a good nude bustier, but unfortunately, Aaron, she did go with a Gothic-style black gown by Versace with $2 million on her neck from Le Vienne. So the points remain on the board, but they are gone in that category. David, we go to you.
David, did you know the answer to that one?
Not a clue. Not a clue. I actually, honestly, I tuned out because I have no idea. I waited for my name to be mentioned again. And now I'm back. Thank you for your patience. I will take Camila Cabello for 1 point, please.
Much easier one. Here we go. Where was Camila Cabello born? A, the United States. B, Puerto Rico. C, Spain. Or D, Cuba.
I do know this. It's D, Cuba.
Cuba! This is correct. And for 1 point, Senor Aaron, you can call him Senorita. Finishes off Camila Cabello in style.
Heyo.
Heyo. We go back to you, Aaron, for your selection in whatever category you wish.
I'm going to go Chicky Nugs for 2.
Chicky Nugs for 2. Who/whom is widely accredited with creating chicken nuggets, I should say. Chicken nuggets. A, Ronald McDonald. B, the Kroger brothers. C, Robert C. Baker. Or D, Gavin McWilliams.
Oh, wow.
Again, that's Ronald McDonald. B, the Kroger brothers. C, Robert C. Baker. Or D, Gavin McWilliams.
I genuinely have no idea, so I'm going to go with C again. I'm going to trust my gut.
C for Robert
Robert
C.
C. Baker.
Baker. And the double C's take your double points because that is correct. Aaron, you now have a 2-1 lead. However,
Work.
David does have a chance to retaliate here in the round.
Okay.
David?
I will take
Choose wisely. Don't mess it up.
I will take Earth for 2, please.
Earth for 2. Which of the following, David, is not a regenerative agriculture practice? A. Minimal tillage. B. Crop rotation. C. Composting. Hey. Or D. Monoculture. Which of the following is not a regenerative agriculture practice? A. Minimal tillage. B. Crop rotation. C. Composting. Or D. Monoculture.
I was reading about tilling soil earlier today, actually. Funny enough. and crop rotation as well. Well, I've known about crop rotation for some years, but I'm just gonna say composting because it just doesn't seem to fit. I don't know what I don't know what D was, but I'm just gonna go with composting because that doesn't really seem to fit in the question.
Yes, C for composting is incorrect. It was, in fact, whatever the heck D was. It was monoculture.
Monoculture
is not a regenerative agriculture practice. Now, Aaron, you knew that for sure, right?
Clearly.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Clearly.
Clearly.
Common knowledge.
We go back to you, Aaron. Do you want to finish out the nuggets, or are you going to leave a little for David to divulge into?
I'll leave a little for David. Let's see here. I'm going for all the 2s. I want color purple for 2.
Color purple for 2.
Watch me get it wrong.
We all know how important the aspect of pants is within the story of the color purple. So how much were the first pair of Dockers I found on Walmart's site with the following description? Dockers men's classic pleated easy khaki with stretch.
Oh, God.
My goodness, I almost went to a different site. Yes. A, $18.70. B, $21.60. C, $26.30. Or D, $39.85. Again, they are Dockers men's classic pleated easy khakis with stretch. 1870, 2160, 2630, 3985.
I'm going to say 21 and change.
21 and change gives you a 3-1 a lead. Or no, excuse me, 4 point as the 2 and 2s get you. So there you go. Correct answer there. Congratulations. Now, David, back to you being at a 3-point disadvantage.
All right. I guess I'm going to have to go with drag for 2.
Drag for 2, the category I specifically made for you, David, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Pete's Dragon, a Disney classic, was recently remade back in 2016.
I hate you so much.
Who listed among here was not in the cast? Robert Redford, B. Aaron Eckhart, C. Wes Bentley, or D. Bryce Dallas Howard? Again, Pete's Dragon was recently remade back in 2016. Who listed is not in the cast? A. Robert Redford, B. Aaron Eckhart, C. Wes Bentley, or D. Bryce Dallas Howard?
I didn't see it.
Who did?
I have no idea.
Who did?
Actually, I did, but I don't remember it.
I'm just going to go with Bryce Dallas Howard, but I'm almost certain I'm wrong.
You're almost certain you're wrong, and you are certainly wrong that you are. It was Aaron Eckhart was not featured in the cast.
Okay,
everybody else was
that in a way that you were saying. I think that I was right, but I was not.
That's the names of the games, there, David. You are incorrect, and we go back to Aaron. Now, Aaron, I think you might have locked this up, but I could be incorrect. So go ahead and...
Well, what do we still have? We have Earth for 1.
We have Earth for 1. We have Nugs for 1. We have the color purple for 1. And we have drag for 1. So actually, I do think you might have taken this already.
Yeah, there's no way.
I'm going to go for the color purple for 1.
Color purple for 1. Which of the following eggplant facts is fake? I almost went full Chicago there. Which of the following eggplant facts is fake? A. Italians once believed that eggplants made you insane. B. Doctors say eating a daily serving of eggplants can significantly reduce the risk of colon cancer. C,
Mhm.
eggplants were once used to dye teeth for fashion. Or D, eggplants are a berry. Which of the following
Which of these facts
eggplants
is in? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, which of these eggplant facts is fake? The rest of them are real. One of them is fake. Italians once believed that eggplants made you insane. Doctors say eating a daily serving of eggplants can significantly reduce the risk of colon cancer. Eggplants were once used to dye teeth for fashion, or eggplant is a berry.
I'm going to say A seems so specific, and also I know that the Italians love fresh veggies. That's a sweeping generalization, and I'm sorry to any Italian listeners. But I'm going to go with A.
A is actually correct. The one that was incorrect is doctors say eating a daily serving of eggplants can significantly reduce the risk of colon cancer. I just thought that was just sounded factual as it was. So there we go. He does not get the point, but he does still hold the lead. David, for posterity, where are you going for your final point potential?
I mean,
You've got Earth for one, Nugs for one, or Drag for one.
there's I get two more.
You do get two more.
Am I
You get two more.
I
Never
will
mind.
I will take drag for one.
Drag. Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift was seen as a critical disappointment, a real drag on the franchise as a whole, as was the making of this question. In millions, how much did this movie take in globally in the box office? We're looking at A, 72 million US dollars, B, 84 million, C, 117 million, or D, 159 million. 72, 84, 117, 159.
Did you say this was globally or?
Globally, yes.
And this is Tokyo Drift, right?
Tokyo Drift, yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with what was the 80 something million.
84 million. That is incorrect. It was 159 was the actual retail price of that. So you are still down to 1 point. Aaron, do you care to increase your lead by one? Can you do it? Can you do it with either Earth or chicken nuggies?
Let's switch it up. Let's go for Earth.
Earth. He's being a very generous person, David. He's leaving you the rest of his nugs. What is the practice of growing a series of different type of crops in the same area across a sequence of growing seasons? One more time. What is the practice of growing a series of different types of crops in the same area across a sequence of growing seasons? A, crop rotation. B, cover crops. C, biodiversity. Or D, none of the above. Again, crop rotation, cover crops, biodiversity, or none of the above.
I'm going to go with biodiversity, C.
C is what he answered, and C is incorrect. It was actually crop rotation was the answer there.
I gotcha. I thought that was the practice of like leaving one crop of land or like one space of land free and then moving where you planted that so it would have time to like rebuild the nutrients. Am I dumb?
No, I think it's one. Yeah, David.
Yeah, the crop rotation is where you usually they'll do for one plot of land they'll do like, for example, corn on that field for one season, and then they'll do soy for the next season, and then for the third season they'll leave it to recover, or they'll leave it without using that plot of land for any agricultural purposes, and then then they'll go back to corn and then soy and then nothing, and then corn and soy nothing. So that's crop rotation in the bare basics, but there's many reasons why that isn't good enough, but I won't go into those.
No, David, please tell us.
No, I certainly won't. It could take. I read a 30-minute long article about it earlier today. Yeah.
Speaking of bare basics and not good enough, we're going back to chicken nuggets. David, for 1 point. For 1 point,
tackling the important issues.
Yes, absolutely. Now, if you want to get Aaron on a subject for 30 minutes, here we go. Who serves chicken nuggets shaped like dinosaurs? A, Denny's. B, Burger King. C, Freddy's. or D, Carl's Jr.? Now, in your chicken nuggets expertise, how many of these places have you enjoyed at the chicken nuggets, David?
0.
0.
I'm gonna
now,
say,
Aaron, do you know this? Just before you answer this, David, do you know this?
I don't actually.
Okay, good to know.
I'm
David.
going to say with absolutely no interest or confidence, Burger King.
Where did you go?
Burger King.
Burger King. No, Burger King serves you chicken nuggets that are just normal. They used to sell on the kids menu crowned chicken nuggets.
Crown-shaped, yeah.
Crown-shaped.
My childhood.
Ah.
Yes, but Denny's was where we were looking for. I believe they are Dino Nuggies inspired. But there we go. No points to end it out. It remains the score as it was a couple rounds ago, 1-4 in favor of Aaron. Aaron, you have done me a great service, a great favor, vanquishing the evil upon this cropland. Thank you so much for beating David. Very much appreciated. Is there anything else to plug in your life right now as you take your victory lap?
Well, yeah. I'm in the Color Purple at the Phoenix Theater downtown through May 1st. When that ends, I'm doing a composer-lyricist cabaret with the Phoenix Theater as well. And that has 2 performances on May 14th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there
Come
we
on
go.
down.
Come on
Catch some
down.
good theater.
Yes, absolutely. It was a wonderful show on The Color Purple. Once again, I cannot applaud you enough. Oh, also,
Thank
while
you,
I
sir.
have you on the pod, my mother went and saw you as well at a separate show than I did, and she wanted me to let
What?
you know that she was the woman going madly crazy in the audience, plotting your name and not wanting you to think that she was just
Aw.
some random woman stalker that you would then be worried
No,
about when leaving the
whatever.
theater. Yes, I told her, you don't know Aaron if you don't think he enjoyed all the applause in the world. So.
Oh, I surely
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Want to give it to me. I love it. Work. Well, thank you for coming for me.
Will do. All right. Thank you, Aaron. And we will talk to you later.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
And with that win, I get to a middling score of 5-5, while David, with that loss, drops down to 4-6. What a ton of slappage we have available to us, David. Now, let's go to you first here. What is your That Slaps this week?
I tried to find a song that had something to do with planet or Earth or something, but there's not a whole lot of those. But then I came across an oldie but a goodie, and it is "Everybody Wants to Rule the World" by Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world. That song. Yeah, that song definitely slaps. So even though I know you've heard it before and it's long since past, worth checking out again, check it out. That slaps.
My That Slaps this week is also motivated by the world, the earth, but it's called Back in the World by David Gray. David Gray with a Gray. Great song. That slaps. Certainly probably something you haven't heard. So go ahead and give it a check out because it slaps. Ooh.
Thank you so much, as always, for listening. We have a few other thank yous to throw out before we close out today. So, first of all, to Cass and Crossland and to Jake Corlang, thank you guys so much for your contributions to POWWOW Podcast. We really appreciate it.
Thank you to Tara Amstutz and Josh Hans for their wonderful contributions to the show. Could not do it without you guys. Thank you so much.
And of course, thank you to you, the listener, for your continued support. Now, this has been a very special episode. Happy Earth Day. And one final message, I guess, is just to find all the ways that you can help preserve the climate, the environment, and do what you can to curb all the disastrous things that are going on this planet. Read up about it. The time is now. But we at POWWOW Podcast want to thank you for listening to our Earth Day episode. And spread the word. We've got important things to say. We think we're tackling some important issues and having a lot of fun along the way. So check us out on Instagram. We're at POWWOW_podcast. Recommend us to your friends. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. And we're just about everywhere where you find podcasts except Pandora, because, you know, when the earth is in such dire need, you do not want to open Pandora's box.
All right, guys, we understand it. You don't want us to cut down the tree, but can you please unchain the bears from the tree?